The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to episode 35 of our show. We have now been running since July and we're having a ball. So tonight, these are two of my great friends that I've known for a long time. Anthony and I have known each other over 20 years. And Jenine and I'm thinking close to that.
Yeah.
So my guests tonight are, Chris DePiero has joined us. There he is.
Hey, Chris.
Okay, so I was just talking about you, Chris, always. So what I'm going to tell you guys about in the top of the show is that exactly this. If you're listening on the radio, you're listening through armeddigitalmedia.com with Armed Radio. And thank you, Joe Rocks, and thank you, Jim Bell. They are our producers, and they take care of all this and get us launched on the radio. So hi, Cindy. Jeffrey Campbell has joined us. So what you're going to hear is that I'm acknowledging people because I'm also Facebook Living. So sometimes it sounds a little crazy on the radio, but I just want to say hi to our friends at Facebook. Check in with us. So if you're someone that listens on the radio and you want to watch us live, my name is Maria Gentile, Gentile, and my Facebook page is open. It's public, so you can come on every week and you can watch it live. Also, I save the video and you can watch it anytime you want. So I also tell people if you want to share this at the beginning of the show, please feel free to share it on your pages or other pages. And that way, it's running in a lot of different spots. Okay, so that's my opening. So tonight, my guests are Jenine Molinari of Molinari Dance.
Dance Molinari.
Thank you. Thank you. Dance Molinari. And Anthony Patelis, I call him Tony, but I think you go by Anthony mostly, right?
Tony.
Okay, Tony Patelis, and he is an actor, a director, a singer, screenwriter. And so how did I meet these wonderful people? How do I know all these great people? I also just found out that I didn't realize Jenine not only has a dance school, but also does a lot of choreography, which I didn't know. And I think, Jenine, you are our first ever choreographer on What's the Story with Maria. So that is a really big deal. So let me, Janelle Farmer has joined us. Jason Peck has joined us. Susan Varone has joined us.
Yeah.
Varen. Hi, Susan.
Susie.
John Pandish, Billy Rowe. Hi, everybody. Julie Gianozzi has joined us, too. Okay, so many great people. Feel free to share this on your pages as well. So, Tony and I'm going to start with Tony, Jenine. I hope you don't mind.
Not at all.
All right, Tony and I met in 1991 or 2? Yeah, 91. And we were like puppies. And we both, we auditioned for this show called Tony and Tina's Wedding. You've heard me talk about that a million times. But so many great people I've met through that show. We got hired in the same week. Mm-hmm. So we started off as, I think, was it Swin? No, we got hired as the
contract. I got contract.
I got a contract, and we got our equity cards.
Well, I had my equity card.
Oh, you had yours. I did not have mine, so I got my equity card through that show.
Oh.
What a show off! I already had mine. Here I was so excited that we got it the same week, but apparently you were a big shot before me. So,
of course. Yeah.
So we started working together in '91, and we just could not stop laughing together. So we had a lot of inside jokes during the show. We had a lot of fun things that we did. And so Anthony, when I first met Anthony, not only was he an actor, but he was also a singer and musician. You were doing a whole polka thing, Anthony, right?
Well, yeah.
That was a big deal. Tell us about that.
Well, I was in a band in Los Angeles previous to coming back to New York and joining Tony and Tina's Wedding. And I was in a punk polka band.
A punk polka band. That sounds like an oxymoron.
Well, listen, we didn't call ourselves that, but the press did.
Did they?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
And I think because of that, then we actually got hired to play David Byrne's wedding.
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
And Timothy Leary, who's somewhat of a hero of mine, conducted the band.
Wow.
And Spalding Gray was there. It was a great night. But yeah, we had a band, and we recorded 3 albums and on ROM Records. And
that was a big deal back then. Let me stop you, because nobody I knew was making albums or CDs. I mean, since then, you were kind of the first person I knew that had an album that I knew as a person, you know, as a friend. And because I made a couple of CDs down the line, you know, like in '98 and then 2003. But you were really like someone that did that before anybody else did. So
I think one of the distinctions that we were kind of proud of in the band was that we were probably one of the very first, if not the first, rock and roll polka or rock and roll accordion band.
Love it.
It wasn't just polka. We did a little reggae. We did a little soca.
But you were the main guy, right? You were the singer.
The singer.
Yeah.
But we preceded the accordion. We preceded Paul Simon on Graceland. Which was the first time he came through with accordion, I think in '87. And we had been together since '85 and traveling all around the country.
And then in the '90s, accordion started to become a little infused.
So we were pioneers of accordion rock.
Wow, I love it. So that's when I first met you. That's how I knew you, what I knew you as. And then as the years progressed, you not only did acting, but then you started directing. When did you start directing?
Well, that actually also strangely brought up Tony and Tina's wedding, because our dear friend, a mutual friend, Tim Monaghan.
I love Tim Monaghan.
The best man in the show.
I didn't know about that.
He had written a show. He had written a theater piece called Lobster Tales.
Oh my God, which I loved, because you know I'm from New England as well.
Right, so you probably saw it.
I saw it several times.
Yeah,
actually, it was wonderful.
He asked me to direct it. I had never directed before, and I said no. And he kept asking me and asking me. Oh, I know you got to direct this. And I said, well, I don't direct. I don't know how to direct. I'm not a director. And he said, no, please, you got to do this. So I said, okay, we'll try it out. We started rehearsing and this and that. Well, anyway, long story short, I directed it. We opened it at the West Bank Cafe. And lo and behold, we got picked up and taken to London, England, where we did it at the Barons Court Theatre.
Amazing.
And, for 5 weeks, which was wonderful. So I went there and directed Tim, and then I left him on his own to get into all kinds of mischief.
I know. Timmy is Mischief is his middle name.
Right. So that was the beginning of it, and then Nancy Timpanaro, who you also
love Nancy. I love Nancy Timpanaro, one of my favorite people.
Right, Nancy Timpanaro.
Amazing singer and comedian.
Then had also written a show called Soti.
Right.
About
Cody Fields. I remember that.
And
I saw that show.
Asked me if I would direct that. And that was actually, we did that directly off Broadway.
Okay, let me take a moment, because I want to acknowledge we've got a bunch of new people coming on. Johnny Tamaro came on and said 2 of my favorite people.
Johnny T.
Yep. Juan Felipe has come on, and Chris Olaya. Oh, hello, Chris. Hi, how are you, Chris? Gabrielle Trumbull has come on. Leo Rodriguez, I talked about you, Leo Rodriguez. He's been on the show. He's hysterical. Louis Goldberg has joined us. Ed Kutu. Hi, Ed Kutu of Blade Salon in Connecticut. So I'm going to, from time to time, I'm going to shout out my friends, because they are great people and they come on the show. Some of them have been on the show. So Anthony was telling us about, this is Anthony Patelis and Jenine Molinari. If you just joined, see, they're all the smiles and they're happy. They get shouted out because they deserve it. They come back week after week. So Anthony was telling us about how we first started directing, and that's how it happens. One thing happens. So you directed Nancy Timpanaro show. That was a great show.
That ran several months off Broadway.
Yep.
And it just grew from there. And the interesting part about it was that it became very much a second career for me. And thank God for it, because when I wasn't acting, strangely enough, a directing job would come along, and I've since then directed all across the country, and luckily also in London.
And we're going to talk about all this, because there's so much stuff going on. So we were talking earlier. They got here early. Thank God, they're early birds. And we were talking about, like, part of why I respect these people so much is because we understand, like, we've all been in the business a long time. And the thing is, the things you have to do sometimes to stay afloat, and you don't realize, you may pick something up, just try something new, and then, as Tony said, it turns out to be like a second career. And thank God for that. So I'm going to switch over to Jenine. We're going to go back and forth. So Jenine, I left the show and then you came in, I think, right after. So we didn't really cross paths that way. I got to know you through our mutual friend, Susan Campanero.
Yes.
Who is an actress, also very funny, but she's also a dancer.
Yes.
And I met you when she was taking tap from you, I guess.
Well, yeah.
And that's how it started. And that was, 90?
It was 99,
Okay.
and that's when I joined the show.
Okay.
The show had already moved uptown.
Okay.
So I was never part of the Village group, which I had heard so much about, and then you were under.
Well, we heard a lot about the San Fran. That's how
Yeah.
it is. The original.
Totally.
You're always compared to another cast.
Absolutely. So yeah, I joined the cast, and Susan was teen at the time. And a whole group of them knew I danced from Tony and Tina's, and they said, you should start a tap class.
Oh, so you hadn't started tap class
No,
yet?
I mean, I had always taught through college.
Wow, amazing.
I always choreographed and taught. But yes, the Tony and Tina people, a whole group of girls said, you need to start a tap class. So I started right around the block from where the show was.
Wow.
And this is how I began. So they all came in, they took the class. Susan has still been with me all these years.
I know, and I don't think she's going to leave you anytime soon.
No. She'll never leave.
Susan Campanero! We love Susie.
We love her. We
Susie.
love her. But
Oh,
it
we
was
can't.
because of the Tony and Tina people that I started it, and it was every Saturday morning we would have a class, and then
Unbelievable.
one Saturday morning, Thanksgiving weekend, there was a knock on the door, and we were beginning of the class, and it was all these little kids with all their parents,
No.
and they said, "Can we come and take your class?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't teach kids."
You're kidding me.
You don't understand. We're in Broadway shows. We're in Annie Get Your Gun. We're in Les Mis. And they started rattling all the shows. And I said, I really don't think you guys can be able to keep up, but you're more than welcome to take the class today.
Oh, my
Because
God.
their teacher didn't show up. And by the way, I think their teacher is now a very famous director on Broadway.
Oh,
But,
wow.
they came in, and 2 weeks later, they drove all the adults out, and the rest is history. And that's how Dance Molinari came to be.
Wow.
Yes.
And so now, because I've seen a lot of your different shows that you've had, and Susie's always will let me know about them.
Yes.
And you will have the little guys, and that included Chloe.
Yeah.
I remember.
yeah.
Now it's
Yeah.
crazy that Chloe,
My daughter.
Tony's daughter, who the first
Yes.
time I saw Chloe dance, she was a little
Yes.
peanut.
Yes.
Right.
And now Chloe's married, right?
And has a baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
wow. So that's how long you've been teaching
Yeah,
dance.
she started with me when she was 12. But it
Oh, so
really,
you met Chloe when she was 5.
I met
First
Chloe when
time.
she was
Yeah.
really little, but I remember her dancing
Started
really
dancing
well
with Jenine.
with Jenine.
but the whole point of the company was not to be like a dancing school. It literally became this coaching for Broadway kids. So
Wow.
it's now we have Kids in School of Rock and Matilda, and every Broadway show, every national tour, Disney shows, Nickelodeon out in LA. So it was never, it was never my ambition to do recitals and become that kind of a school. It was more like working with professional kids.
That's amazing.
They're singers, actors who have to learn to do.
And I teach at a school called the Male Performing Arts Center in Morristown, and
Yeah.
a lot of my kids are incredibly talented. I'm going to tell them about it. So I'm going to send them to you because they're so talented.
Yeah, this is the next step to going to Broadway or doing something bigger. So we coach them for all those shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And so both of you have that similar kind of starting from like not even realizing, kind of just doing it. And I'll do it with some friends and then realizing you're really good at something and it turned into something lucrative.
That's right.
Vincent Palumbo has joined us.
Vinny Palumbo!
Can you believe this? Vinny, look who I have. Look who I have. I have Tony Patelis and Jenine Molinari. Oh my God. Rick Smith has joined us. Fatima, hi, Fatima was my first baseman, and she knows Susie. Susie was our catcher. Susan Campanero, and Susie loves Fatima.
Everyone knows Susan.
Everyone knows Susan.
Yeah.
6 degrees of Susan Campanero.
So, we'll give a quick shout out to Vinny Palumbo.
Oh, he's
Vinny,
great.
if you were here, I would give you the shoulder rub.
Oh, what? What's happening here?
here?
Is there anything I should know about it?
Yeah.
All right, so that's for you. That's for your eyes and ears, kids. God,
Too much info.
I know that's a lot happening. Wow,
Get your mind out of the gutter.
that's it. Too late. Too late. All right, so now you guys have another thing that you do is you have collaborated. Who else is Carla Crowley? Hi, Carla. Happy birthday. Did you have a birthday this week? Or am I just... Oh, no, you were looking for something. Resume. Okay, I'm going to shout this out. Carla is looking for someone that does resumes. So if you are someone that puts together resumes, Carla is looking for someone to help her with that. So make friends out there. And that's what I like to do, connect people. All right, so you guys have collaborated on many projects now.
Many projects.
Okay, so talk about some of that and how that goes.
Well, I think we've done a lot of acting together.
Yeah.
Beginning with Tony.
Well, yeah.
But then in 2000, we were in a show at La Mama together, where she played my daughter and I played Tevya, or Teddy, in a show called
Fiddler Subterranean.
Fiddler Subterranean,
Yes.
which has the distinction
Okay, here we
at
go.
the end of the year that Time Out magazine called it the second to the worst show
No.
of the year.
What was
Good
wow?
plug, Tony.
The
Really
first-
good plug
What was
for
the
us.
worst?
No, but the
Worst
worst
show.
show was
Susan Stroman's
Susan
show.
What? Oh,
We
very
felt
good.
honored.
very honored to be
Oh my
a
God.
better show than Susan Stroman.
You're in good company
show.
down there.
And we felt pretty good. Actually, it was a pretty interesting show. It was pretty good. I think they were just
Nobody really quite understood it.
they were
did
just
it was Canadian
uptight.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, yes, we have collaborated a lot together. Last spring, we co-directed Jesus Christ Superstar at a theater called the Seven Angel Theater. It's an equity theater in Connecticut.
Amazing. We're in Connecticut.
It's in Waterbury, Connecticut. I've actually been the residential choreographer there for the past 12 years.
Wow,
I've directed
Janine.
for them and choreographed. Usually they're big musicals, like Legally Blonde and Footloose, anything big, will.
All right, let's take a moment because we want to go back to the Seven Angels Theater,
Yeah.
and Anthony directed a show there as well. All right, Rena Cugnali Berge, who is my cousin, has joined us. Hello, Rena. We love Rena. She comes on every week. Carla was making me laugh. She goes, my birthday was January 20th. I am getting old. And I just know that I see things on Facebook, and I'm like, I got to tell that person happy birthday. That was like a month and a half ago. And then George Hernandez has joined us. Hi, George. He is down in Kentucky now, but he's a Miami guy. He's one of our Cuban friends, and he's a new artist. We were talking about doing new things. He's been a psychologist, a doctor of psychology forever, and now he is an artist. It's amazing. So how that happens sometimes. Okay. Oh, Love Me a Tevya, said Eddie Kuto, because he was Tevya in our high school production, and I was Golda.
Oh.
Do you love me?
Awesome.
Do you love me, Eddie?
Do I love you?
Do I what? Okay. Watching from the snow-covered Boston. I know they had so much snow in Boston.
yes.
My poor cousins and my dad. Rena, I watch your Facebook to know what the weather is. She posts all these big, and today they were broken branches. So, all right. So let's go back to the Seven Angels Theater in Waterbury, Connecticut. So you have directed things there, right?
I have. I directed Maria Barada's vignettes of an Italian-American girl.
And I was one of the producers on that.
And she
Wow.
co-produced it, and
We love
I've
Maria
acted in
Barada.
about 5 shows there, and actually one of your guests, viewers tonight, Johnny Tamara, I know recently did 1 or 2 shows at Seven Angels.
Really?
And-
And how long are these runs usually? Is it like a one-day thing
Oh,
or
no,
a 5
no,
weekend?
they're long runs.
No,
Oh, really?
Usually 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the show.
I didn't know
Loads
that.
of extensions. And
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And do you guys stay out there when
Yeah,
you're out there?
There is a cast house.
There, yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Oh yeah, everyone lives together. It's sort of a reality show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what else are you going to do? That's the business.
Right, it's a-
Hey, look,
it's a
remember
regional
Tony and
theater.
Tina's, we had one dressing room for 30 people.
It's sort of like
Yes,
that,
we
only you
did.
live like that for.
Yes, we
6
did.
30, so we've all seen each other like in our underwear.
Oh,
At
yeah.
least.
And nobody cared.
No.
You just did your thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we used to act so crazy in there. So much crazy. I mean, that's like hours and hours of funny stories.
I think if Equity actually had paid a surprise visit there, we would have been shut down.
No, I'm sure we would have. I'm sure. I mean, it was
I'm not
completely illegal what was happening there.
Especially
We
if
had
you
one
walk in
dressing room, guys, girls. It didn't matter if you were gay. It's not about being gay, straight, or what you like or don't like, or what you're looking at. There was not enough room, and we would share. So it'd be like we'd have a certain amount of seats to put your makeup on, and then one part of the cast would go, and because they would enter, and then the second part of the cast would get ready, and then and we would just switch over. You couldn't always all be in there at the same time, but we would be changing.
No, you get your stuff done and then okay, I'm next.
But we had some fun. Oh my God, those were great days. I mean, and they're still great days because we got to keep each other as friends, and we got to support each other and things like that. So, okay, now let's fast forward to what's happening now, and then we can go back to other things because when I do my food section, I got to tell a funny story about Tony. But Peggy Bauman has joined us. Right, funny stories. Okay, so now, whichever one of you wants to go first, what is like right in your, not your rearview mirror, what's right in the windshield? What's happening now that you want to tell us about?
Okay, since I'm in the middle of something this week, we're in auditions right now for a show that actually Johnny Tamar did a reading of.
Okay.
So it's called Rock and Roll Redemption, and it is the life story of Dion, and that's going to be done up at 7.
Of Dion and the Belmonts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a true story. It's his true story using his music, and we're actually in the auditions in New York City right now for that and callbacks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I think I heard his life story on a podcast maybe about a year ago. Now I get it. So I don't want to give it away because I want the show to tell you the story, but it was really beautiful and fascinating and painful, and it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of the show?
It's called Rock and Roll Redemption.
And when does it run?
It opens the first week in May, and it runs for 4 weeks.
Okay, I'm going to have to get my Uncle Nicky to join me. He lives in Boston. Maybe all my cousins, we can meet halfway in Waterbury, Connecticut, and go see this.
That music, Dion's music, and it spans his entire life. So the music, he had a big change in music in the middle of it turned bluesy, and then right into the 21st century his music goes. So it's pretty incredible.
But he's a really sweet guy.
His journey is pretty intense.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And I heard it on the show. He had a whole hour when they interviewed him. So I'm so excited that you're doing that. Rock and Roll Redemption, that's coming up.
Pretty cool.
And Tony, you have a screenplay thing happening. Tell us about that.
Well, I'd always wanted to do some writing, and I was always afraid of it, and thought, well, who am I to write? So about 10 years ago, I started actually writing kind of a memoir with some novelesque.
Did you write it in a format of a prose?
Yeah,
and then
like
switch it over.
I was going to do it as a book. I never thought about writing a script. And I knew I wasn't going to write anything for the theater. And then a mutual friend of mine and a gal who lives in LA is a screenplay writer and a screenplay writing coach, and also teaches at SVA.
Okay. And what's SVA stand for people that are out there?
School of Visual Arts.
Okay. So
downtown.
All right.
So he gives private, semi-private, there's 7 people involved, workshops.
All right.
And he just happened to email me. We had met some months earlier, and he emailed me and said, "Is there anything you want to write? And if you think so, would you like to join the workshop?"
How cool is that?
I said, and I thought about it, and I was like, that book you started 10 years ago that you're on page 15 of?
Right. Oh my God.
I think that you might want to change that into a screenplay.
I think so many people can identify with this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us do that kind of thing where we'll start something and then just... And let me just say, why do you think that happens? You think it's because we get busy? You think it's because we think we're not important enough? We don't have something to say? Why do you think...
I know for me, it was a combination of several of those things, but I think more than anything else, I found it to be an extremely difficult and lonely venture.
Writing can be very lonely, but some people love it. Some people go away. Now, did you end up? So the workshop obviously helped.
Oh yeah,
obviously helped.
Yeah.
And so you recommend that kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah, if you don't know what you're doing,
right?
I think it's a great thing to do. I had no clue how to write a screenplay. And I went in there, and then the first thing I had to do was get online with, with a writing program, a screenplay writing program.
Wow!
And then I started.
And they have certain programs now for that, right? Amazing.
Yeah, and so I wrote the first draft in several months, and there were weeks or months, whatever it was, and then I let it sit for a while and stew. And then I got back to it. I let a few people read it who gave me some wonderful notes, and I marked all those notes down and remembered them. And then I started on my second draft not that long ago, a few months ago, and I finished it. I finished.
Amazing.
I finished this.
How many pages is it?
It's 108.
108. Well, that's perfect.
It's kind of a perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say 110 is like.
Yes, it's an epic.
110 is perfect.
So the PS and the fast forward to finishing it, sending it back to people who read it and giving me really, really wonderful feedback on it.
Okay.
And everyone's saying, I really see the movie here. So I ventured out and submitted it to the Beverly Hills Film Festival.
Wow.
Coming up in April. And lo and behold, I quickly forgot that I sent it to them.
Yeah, but that's good. That means you have a lot going on.
And then about 2-3 weeks ago, I got a letter from them saying, we have accepted your screenplay as an official entry to the Beverly Hills Film Festival. So I'm going to it and gonna, schmooze and try to get as much play, on the screenplay as possible. And if God is really loving me that month, maybe I'll place. There's a first, second, and third place.
Wow.
And but even if I don't, for me,
that's honestly, a really big deal.
The shock of even being accepted was
well, especially because we're coming from this place of just starting to write. Really. So it seems like that's like a pattern in your life, something you don't realize you're good at, and then but what you do that's different from other people is that you actually do it. So some people are asked to do stuff and they're like, nah, I don't know how to do that. And they just move on and do something else. But you actually are willing to start. So when people say just start somewhere, you would be a perfect example of that.
Well, I hadn't thought about it that way, but
that's what it sounds like to me.
And I think that it is true that you have to, the old actor saying you have to jump off the cliff. Right?
Yeah.
And trust that you'll land, in feathers. And I think that's what has happened with me in several different things. The directing, yes. The polka band, which I thought was ridiculous when we got going. And now a screenplay. So you might be onto something.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm hearing. I want to just take a moment. I want to also Ted the plumber, I call him. There's Ted has joined us. He's out in New Jersey. If you ever need a good plumber, I'm not joking. Ted is the best.
Yeah.
So, Ted, can you please type in the name of your company? You're out in Jersey, so I can...
My parents are in Jersey, so they...
No, he's the best. Ted
good.
is the best. I mean, every time I've recommended him, people love...
need a plumber.
Ted, you can never have enough plumbers in your life. My cousin Ron Crignali, shout out to plumbers, is a plumber. And Richard Kowick, he's going to be on the show. I'm thinking April 10th, right, Richard? Do I have that right? He is an amazing photographer, and he just came out with a great book, New York City book. So, Chris DePiero, Tony has helped out so much. Yes.
Well, I want to just say, I really need to shout out to Chris DePiero.
Chris is the best of the best.
Chris DePiero gave me an opportunity that was pretty incredible, which was a plum role in a wonderful movie, Hoboken. I mean, what am I saying?
Miami or Boston?
Boston, Hoboken, that, and which ended up going to the film festival in Atlantic City, and
hysterical movie.
And Chris also shot our web series.
Oh, well, talk about the web series
yes,
before we forget.
Tony and I co-wrote a web series called Tap Out of It, and it's a fictional look at what it takes to train these kids for Broadway shows. And it's fictional, it's funny, it's just a dark comedy. But Chris came in and he did
always
editing, editing. Sound.
And Lynn Portis wrote all the music.
Yes. Where would we be without Chris DePiero and Lynn Portis?
Exactly.
Lynn Portis has been my musical director for 25
She's
years.
Done so much for us.
We've co-written songs. We've done every show I've done. It's always Lynn. No, there is. And now shout out to a Musi app, EMUSI. They're musical texts that you can send, and now they're starting to do videos that go with them. Look that up. Download it, EMUSI app. It's $1. $1.99. You get over 1,100 snippets that you can text to people or put on Facebook. So Lynn and Chris has shot almost everything that I've done too. So, I mean, Susie and I made that movie Just Eat With Me, which I have to segue. But we're going to go back there. But first I want to talk to Jenine, because Jenine, I didn't realize that your dance company now is in 3 cities.
Yeah.
So please tell us about that.
We opened in LA 5 years ago, so it's Dance Culinary LA, and then Chicago this past summer, so we are in 3 cities.
Wow.
We also were hired by UNICEF last year, and we were also in 3 cities, including Atlanta, LA, and Chicago. And Pink was the ambassador, so she gave of her song. So I got to choreograph this amazing song along with my co-choreographer Bobby Gauss. And each city, we opened Kids Power Month in May. So it was an amazing opportunity. But yeah, so we're all over the country. We also have kids on tour, so we try to, wherever the kids are touring, like in School of Rock, we try to hook them up with dance teachers who will dance, from Dance Molinari. So.
To keep up their chops.
Yeah, or just to stay healthy, because it's really hard when you're doing 8 shows a week.
Yes.
And your body's, really getting used.
Yeah, I remember when I saw Matilda a couple years ago, I was shocked at how hard they were working, and they were little kids.
And they were getting there 2 hours before the show to do warm-ups, like run around the theater and jumping jacks. And
wow.
So these kids, they're intense. And
so when you see these kids on Broadway, they're not just like showing up in limousines,
no.
Doing their thing and then flying off. They're training.
Oh, yeah.
So
constantly.
Matilda's one of your students.
Matilda's
and it was an early student of yours, or two.
Well, I originally taught Ariana Grande.
No!
They were two of my first demo, we call it demo, demo kids.
Wow.
So they were part of my first group.
Amazing.
Not many kids come through the door and become famous.
Well, that's what happens when you teach, because I know. Susie and I, same thing, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
If you I've been teaching since 92.
You
see them grow, and then sometimes you see them on television, or you see them on, things like that.
It's incredible.
Speaking of television, Tony, you've done so much TV. Can you just name some of the shows you've been on? Because sometimes I just be watching late night TV. It's like, there's Tony. Oh my God, there's Tony Patel. Yeah. I loved you in The Sopranos, though. I gotta say, I tend to lean towards that being my favorite thing.
Yeah.
As the principal.
Thank you.
Oh my God, you were so good.
Thank you.
What season was that? In case people. Fourth season. If you are someone that likes to go back and watch, which I do. I could watch
Bergen High School.
Principal of Bergen High School.
Charles Cirillo.
Yes.
Right.
Please. So if you like The Sopranos, you're going to see Tony as the principal, and it's reoccurring. So that poor guy, what you went through. Oh my God.
He broke his arm.
Yeah. Amazing.
And all the New York shows, the New York Undercover, all the Law and Orders, and what else?
Gotham,
yeah.
Gotham.
Wow. I don't know much about Gotham. That's a new show, right?
Well, I didn't know much about it either until I did it.
Yeah, but that's how you learn.
Fun show. Really, really interesting characters.
Is it a drama? Is it a comedy?
Well, it's a black comedy, I would call it, in a sense. The characters are a bit exaggerated, as well as the storylines, much like the Batman series.
Oh, okay, all right.
It is basically the Batman story.
The prequel, maybe.
Yeah, in a sense.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, I never get sick of that stuff. It's always fun.
And I hope to do a lot more.
One of our guests that was on our show, Heidi Germain Schnapoff, she is a stunt girl.
Oh.
So she does all those shows. Let me just scroll down. She does all those shows, and now that I know what she's on, like she does Jennifer Jones, she does, I'll think of it in a minute. Look, she was telling us all about it. It's just amazing to see your friend. You're like, oh my God, that's her. She did that scene. Or it's really cool. Thanks to Tony connecting us to GSFF.
That's the Garden State Film Festival.
Okay, thank you. That was my favorite thing to shoot tap out of it. Oh my God.
Oh.
Susie Turgeon has joined us. Hi, Susie. Leo Rodriguez is teaching since 95. He's been teaching. He works with kids. Great. So he knows all about it. All right. I have to segue into the section of our show the segment called Go Ahead. Keep eating. All right. And tonight, let me show you our plate. My chef friends are going to love my plate. All right. So what is this? This is salmon on a bed of asparagus with a little basmati rice. So what I put in the salmon is I sauteed some onions. I made the pan really, really hot and seared the salmon. And then on the side there, I reduced orange juice, a little bit of white wine, some soy sauce, ginger, Asian flavors with that. And then threw it on top of the asparagus with some garlic, some red peppers, and flavors of that nature, and basmati rice on the side. So that is what they're having tonight, because these guys eat healthy. It's going to be delicious. I can't wait. After the show.
I'm starving.
Are you good? I'm glad. Well, you're going to get a plate of your own that looks just as pretty as that. Now, why did I choose salmon? Because I always have a theme. Many years ago, when Tony and I were in Tony and Tina's wedding, as anybody knows, I'm a real overeater. Like, I love to eat, and I love to eat junk. And, of course, sometimes my weight goes up, sometimes it goes down, mostly up, and then I panic. And then I'm, like anybody else, I'm always looking for like, what's going to make me scared? What can I do? What can I do? And Tony came in. So tell the viewers about
I
it.
had been on every diet in my, ever known to man. Starting with the Stillman diet back in the '60s, just about every diet you can imagine. And they were all successful until they ended, and then they were unsuccessful.
Right.
So I came in with this latest one, and it was called the Everything and Anything You Can Eat, including the kitchen sink, in 1 hour.
In 1 hour.
A day. Every day. And so everybody was dubious about this diet, including myself. But I would come into the show. We'd have to get there at 6:15. Was it? Well, we'd get there a little early.
Yeah.
And I would bring in whatever I would bring in, and she'll tell you of what she observed me bringing in. But and eat like a gavon for an hour. Right. For 1 hour, and believe me, I went all the way to the last second.
Right.
I ate everything. Whipped cream at the end.
Well, yeah, but see, this is where I have to stop you because I said, I just remember him telling me about the diet. When I was like, wait a minute, Tony, what do you mean? Like, he's like, well, you got to be really good for 23 hours, like just vegetables, right? Basically vegetables. And, and then, but that 1 hour, whatever, and he would... You're so good at convincing people too, Tony. You could be a politician,
yes, he is.
right?
Good.
So he said to me, but it doesn't matter. You can pick the hour. So I was like, what? I can't eat before the show because then I'll be like, I won't be able to fit in my dress. Those dresses were really tight. So I know I'm going to eat after the show. So I would take Susie Campanero after the show, and we turned this into a film, which a short film that Kristen Piero actually filmed and directed called Just Eat With Me. So if you go to YouTube and you Google Susan Campanero, Maria Gentile, Just Eat With Me, it'll come up. And it was inspired by Tony's diet. So I would drag Susie around for an hour, like, just eat with me, I gotta get this. And she was like, oh my God, you're scaring me. Because I was crazy. So then I went back and told Tony, because he's my pal, right, in diet. We're like, yeah, he's gonna understand. And I'm like, I'm gonna tell him all this junk I ate, and he's gonna be like, yeah, me too. So I go, what'd you eat yesterday? He's like, oh, it was wonderful. I had this in the hour. And what'd you eat in the hour? I had this delicious salmon with peas. And then at the end, I just put whipped cream on mine. And I was like, that's it? Like, what do you mean? That's what you had for your hour? Why would you do that in your hour? He's like, that's what I wanted. And I realized that we were on a completely different, path.
Wavelength?
Yes, because what I was eating was like Twinkies, donuts, McDonald's, fries, pizza. I would literally take Susan Campanero and run from Bagel Buffet to McDonald's and just back to Rocco's, and we would and she would follow me. Oh my God, you're scaring me! But what I love about Susie was she would also eat with me. So I would buy fries at McDonald's, and I'd be like, Susie, we have 12 minutes here, and I'd be like, here, eat the rest of the fries. And she'd be stuffing. No, it's Susie. She's so cute. She'll do whatever you need her to do. She's like a really good friend, in that way. And then she'll snap you out of it when she needs to too. But this is the truth. So then when I went back and told Tony, I realized that I was kind of doing it wrong. But you told me earlier that I was probably eating throughout the day. What I started to do, because Tony lost, how much did you lose on that diet?
44 pounds.
Right.
In 3 months.
Oh, great. Promote the diet. Now everyone's going to be doing it.
No, he lost 44, and I think I lost 8 pounds in the first week because I actually did it right. And then what happens is you go off the rails. So, I did, which is a customary for me to go off the rails with anything. And then I just started extending the hour because I remember thinking, well, it's just an hour and 10 minutes. It's not the end of the world. And then I think it turned into it was crazy.
Your hours got longer.
And I actually gained it. But sometimes I just crack up thinking about that sometimes. Because I still think in my head, if I just eat for an hour, it's not the end of the world. But it's what you do in the other 23. So,
but I do want to mention that I didn't have salmon and peas every night. I mean, sometimes I went off the rails.
What was off the rails for you, though?
You had a lot of chicken.
Fried chicken.
Oh, but that's not even that bad.
And mashed potatoes.
Yeah, okay.
But you weren't going to McDonald's.
Mine was really bad. But that's still good. That's delicious.
Well, that's just only because there wasn't a McDonald's near the space.
Right. Well, you know what? Maybe some night I'll make fried chicken. Now I'm hungry for fried chicken.
After the show, we'll eat whatever we want for an hour.
Oh my God! Hey, some night we should do that. just have a show where we're just eating anything we want for an hour. That would be a funny show.
I think with
Chris
that-
DePiero, I think that's it. He's got to come on that
What
show.
an amazing success story.
Now, I want to just take a quick second. Chris DePiero, my friend who I adore, who doesn't, and your friend, has his own show on Armed Radio. Starting, when are you starting? Next week, Chris? I believe he is starting, he's got his own radio show, which he's been doing Pizza Time forever. So we love Chris. He's been doing radio for a while. Now he's going to be on Armed Radio. So Armed Radio people, keep your eyes open for Chris, D-E-P-I-E-R-R-O. Chris DePiero. Funny, wonderful, beautiful guy. We love him. We love him. All right. So we got about maybe 15 minutes left to our show. So what are some of the things that we need to tell people about that, New York experience? Jenine, what I've gotten from this show so far, if I was watching, is these two people started off doing things that they loved and working really hard at it. Other people who trusted them came to them to ask them to do more things. They said yes, which is the number one rule in improv, right?
Yeah.
So you're kind of improving your life, which I love. You both said yes to things, and because you said yes and were open, more things came. Then you had to start building. So now you've kind of added people on. Like you said, Susie teaches improv at Dance Molinari, as does Tony.
Yeah, so does Tony. I have multiple teachers. A lot of the teachers are in Broadway shows, or they're Broadway choreographers, or directors out in LA. They're working on sets, like all the different Disney sets or music video sets. So yes, I have a huge team now. We call it the Demo team. But
The Demo team.
I do have to plug something that is
Please, anything you want.
Happy hour. Adult happy hour.
Tappy hour. Not happy hour, tappy hour. Please tell us about this.
Now, this is not for the kids. This is for adults.
You get carded at the door.
Yes, 21 and over. It has become a big hit here in New York. We start again next week. I was going to let it sit a little bit, but everybody's like, no, we have to start again.
All the alkies are like, hey,
And
come
the
on.
secret reason is?
The secret reason is there is wine in every class.
Oh,
Or
my-
Prosecco. And Marilyn Matarese, who we all know from Tony and Tina's wedding,
And Patty and Patty.
comes carting in food to top it off.
No.
So we have, not only do we have wine, we also have non-alcoholic beverages.
Right.
But we also have food. So we tap for a half hour, and then we go, it's tappy hour!
No.
And everybody runs off. Susan Campanera is the
Oh
bartender.
my God, it's tappy hour. You guys.
A lot of loves and
Oh my, look at they're loving it. So
Adult
many like.
happy hour. And everybody who was afraid to tap, now after they have their little drink or whatever it is, they come back on the dance floor. At first I thought they would put the glasses down.
Oh no, and they tap with the
But
glass?
now I've accepted that they're doing a little Sammy Davis and tapping
No.
with the glass in their hands.
Oh
And it's
my
become
God.
a huge hit.
Where can we find out about tappy hour? Because I know people are going to ask me. So tell me about.
You can go on our website at dancemolinari.com.
And can you spell that, please, for our
Yes.
radio listeners?
It's DANCEMOLINARI.com, and that will have all the information. We start again next Tuesday. We usually run every 6 to 8 weeks, and we're packing.
And so the class runs 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks. The next one is for 6 weeks, and it is for beginners or advanced beginners. But I have to tell you, they're getting really good. So we say reserve.
Well, wait a minute now. So they're drinking, they're tapping, they're eating,
No
they're
one's getting drunk. I want
No, but I love this. But wait, what I was going to say is, Charles Caselli has joined us. Joe Savino has joined us. Joe, you would love the show. You got to go back and watch it. Joe Savino's like the big guy. Thank you, Joe, for having us on radio. Mike DeFrancisco has joined us. Kristen, we are back. You have to go back and listen to the show because her kids are so talented. They're out in Morristown, and I've actually taught all three of them. And they, you need to meet Janine Molinari for dance for your kids. I'm going to talk to Kristen privately.
Come to Super Saturday.
She says Super Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go on dancemolinari.com.
Yes. We have adult classes too. Like I was just saying, our big hit is the tappy hour, and now people are asking for ballet at the bar.
Oh my God! Wait,
Crazy.
but which is really funny. Now let me ask you though. There's a recital at the end.
Well.
Everybody's a little half in the bag.
Well.
You're eating.
well, see,
What's happening here?
I think the secret of the success is that they come in there.
They don't care.
Right. They
I
have
love that. No
They
pressure.
have no
No.
idea how to tap. And
No.
after
The only
the
pressure
third-
is on your pants.
the third glass of wine, you think they're great.
Yes.
You
They're Ann Miller.
So that's what I would run. Tappy hour.
I might take
no
that at the bar.
The only pressure is on your pants when you're like,
That's
it's
right.
bursting. That's it. Your pants are bursting.
And we and Susie's up front. She's my assistant. She calls out all the steps.
No.
Oh yeah.
While she's chewing on
Oh
something.
yeah. She's, yeah. And we
5, 6, 7. I'm just having celery right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
This is hysterical. Tappy hour.
Yep, we pick one song and throughout the whole
You and me. Wait, if you're stopping to drink and eat, that's all you can get done is one song.
It's a big dance number.
Oh, okay.
We Emily Jenine at the Palace in her later years.
Oh, okay. You know what? I liked it. Did you know that it was Liza's birthday yesterday?
Oh, it was?
Yes.
We used to dance with Liza.
No.
At Luigi's.
Wait, you used to dance with Liza?
Well, we used to take a dance class with Liza.
Oh, was she
And Liza would be in the class.
Yeah.
really?
She never missed a class.
It was her birthday yesterday.
Oh.
And Susie was in the class too, because Susie just has time for everything.
For I don't know how she does it, but she appears. It's maybe she's like a ghost. She
Yes.
appears places and
She will make herself like
she can be two
available.
places at once. That's her superhero power. She
Yes.
can be at several places. Be like, wait, Susie was just waiting. Because she's come from your class and
Yes.
come up and done this show.
Oh, I remember. She was all done up. We were like, where are you going?
So she was all dolled up. But what's the story with Maria?
Yes, well, that's my happy hour attire.
Yeah, because maybe a tabby has a little mascara running.
Yes.
Does anybody ever cry, burst into tears?
I think they're just so happy to be there, and then
It's a happy tappy hour.
Happy hour, and
This
it's a little
is-
bit of tap therapy too.
Is
You know,
it?
working it out, your greatest fears? A lot of people
Oh, I
come to
love
tap, and they, they're afraid, and then they come in and.
Well, Susie gave me tap shoes years ago. I might have to join your class,
Oh,
Jenine.
you have to join us.
This year, I'm putting it out there. Everything is flipped for me. Like my whole life is literally changed and turned upside down. And first, it's scary. Like a lot of things changed in my routines, which I'm a creature of habit. I was a creature of habit. I am no longer, because so much is. But now with the good that's happening, like last night, I kept my mantra in my head because I was kind of getting stressed out at work, and my mantra was, everything is a blessing. Everything is a blessing. Because I was like, why is this happening? What? I kept telling myself, everything is a blessing. So maybe this is the year that I actually finally take a tap class.
You would love it.
And go back to that 1 hour,
Yeah.
that 1 hour of eating. Maybe what I'll do during tap class is just eat for an hour. I won't tap.
We'll
I'll
set you up in a little table.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I'll just have my tap shoes on the table. Maybe I'll electronically get them to tap, and I'll just eat everything I want for an hour. That would be amazing.
Broadcast live.
And wait a minute, we might have to broadcast live from
Happy hour.
Tappy hour.
Yeah.
We might have to do that. Next time you come on the show, which you mentioned, I didn't even
Yes.
realize, you can bring a little floor piece, right?
I
and
will
tap.
bring my tap floor.
All right.
Yes.
So we're going to put together a show of What's the Story with Maria, where we actually have dancers, whether you're a beginner or advanced. Jenine is going to bring, you can use my floor. I don't care.
It's a wood floor.
The wood floor.
Okay.
Bring your tap shoes, and we'll talk about different things, and then just like chorus line, but
I can teach a couple of steps.
oh my God,
Get your
really?
They get the glass of wine or whatever they're non-alcoholic.
Yes. No, I don't care. I don't care if you guys
We can
drink.
have a tappy
I work in bars. I don't care. Listen, you just don't want to see me drunk. I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs. It's not good. But other people, let them drink, baby. That's how I paid my rent for
Tony can eat
years.
in the corner for 1 hour.
Tony. And direct, perhaps he can just take it in. Write some notes. Because Tony's good. When I think of Tony, I think of this. Don't you?
Yes.
He does that a
He
lot.
does do that.
He's the thinker, right? Oh, my God. All right. So we're coming. People are loving this. This is great. Yes. Kristen, Beck, you have to. Dances with Jenine. Oh, she did. Danielle dances with Jenine already.
With Danielle? Oh, yeah!
Danielle Beck.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Have you ever heard Danielle sing?
I don't think I've heard her sing.
Oh, my God. Danielle is one of our top stars out in Mayo. Not just Mayo, she's everywhere.
I have no doubt.
All the Becks are
very,
amazing
very
kids, and then there's Thomas Beck is the little guy. Of course, I say my little guy, but he's Kristen's little guy, but he's one of my students. Unbelievable, and of course, Bobby Beck. Great, amazing kids. Yes, I'm glad you all know each other. So Mike DeFrancisco is whooping it up there. I think we've hit a nerve with Tappy Hour. Okay, so how do we want to wind down the show? We have about maybe 7 minutes. What would you do, Anthony, what would you tell people that are listening to the show, whether they're in this business that we're in, or something else? What would you tell them? What would be your advice?
Well, my advice would be that if you really want something and you want to do it badly, that you should just do it, and not worry about the success or the consequences or the failure or anything else, because many people think that success grows out of failure, and I tend to agree with that, as long as you stick with it.
You mean not a failure because you learn from your mistakes, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But I remember starting, many years ago in this business and moving to New York City from the Midwest.
I didn't know that about you.
Yes, ma'am.
Where? Where did you grow up?
I can sing it.
Please do.
Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana. Let me say it, whatever.
I love it though.
Yeah.
I was just there.
And you were?
No, in my head. I just went there with you.
My gosh.
See, I don't need to drink. You see what happens?
I was immediately going to say, get out.
I don't know if you want to be there right now.
If you're in Gary, get the
Get
out. Get out of here. Get out of Gary.
It's a good idea for a movie.
Oh my God.
But I remember when I first came to New York and other people kind of showed up from college or whatever, that I'd gone to school with, and they'd say, well, what if I put myself into this and I don't make it? Honestly, if you're asking that question, it's not right for you.
Right. And because when you were saying that, I was just about to say, it's not about making it.
Right.
You know who told me that? We both know Sharon Angela said to me once, it's about the work. I never forgot that. And it was when I first got in the show and I was obsessed about something. She's like, no. It's about the work. You should never, like, I think it was about whatever it was, a songwriting or something. I had just started to, and that's another thing. I didn't know I was a songwriter. You know who told me I was a songwriter? Lynn Portis. Because again, somebody, the school I was teaching at hired a friend of mine to write music for these shows, and she dropped the ball. She's no longer a friend of mine, but a person that a mutual friend of ours, and she dropped the ball. But we'd already paid her from the budget, and I was terrified to lose my job, so I literally wrote these songs. I said, just sit with me at the piano, just put some chords to it, and I'll do it. I'll write the melodies, I'll write the lyrics, and when I turned in the songs and they liked the songs, at the end of the show, my supervisor said, she didn't write those songs, you did. I know your voice. Because I was also teaching creative writing at the school. So, and then I said to Lynn, but I'm not, Lynn said, you are a songwriter. And it was Lynn Portis who got me to really be confident about that. But it was an accidental thing, just like, Tony saying, but both of us didn't say no. I mean, mine was because I was afraid to lose my job. And yours was because you took a risk. And Jenine just opening that door to those kids. You literally, metaphorically and literally opened a door that day.
I did. I opened that door. Who would have known? But
talk about opportunity knocking.
Yeah,
I mean, really, no pun intended. Right? I mean,
about 12 kids.
12 kids.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Okay, so now let's tell people again, if they checked in late, if they want to find you, Jenine, how do they find you?
Yeah, they can go onto the dancemolinare.com, www, obviously, website, and we're in New York, LA, and Chicago, and we're also, we have people in almost every major city across the country.
Wow.
But Tappy Hour is right here in New York City now.
Oh my God.
But yes, we start next week. And
Justine just joined us. Yay. Hi, Justine. Michael Barberi joined.
Yay.
Wow. Okay, so they can find you in all these different, and you can help people. Like if people are going to a different city, they're on tour, you can help them find dance teachers as well.
Well, yeah, most of it are people who are part of our team.
That's what I mean.
They're all professionals and who currently work in the business, and they all have to be able to sing and act as well, because all these kids are triple threats. They even play instruments, so we even offer improv classes. We offer stomp classes, which is like.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with brooms and doing all
No.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'd be good at that.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Because I'm actually very good with rhythm, and I play the cajon, and I play cluster drums, play tambourine.
I
play all the.
Take your dirty dishes.
What?
Yeah, you can.
Oh my God! I think I found something new. I'm taking that class, the stomp class. I'm actually really good with this stuff.
It's really fun. It's really fun.
Fabulous!
I don't
my
teach
God.
it. Someone else does.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
Class.
And because one of my friends who was on the show, Yvonne Cassidy, she teaches writing, and I may end up taking her class. She's a writer. She's an Irish writer. And these are all new things that I want to do this year. So I'm putting it out there.
And you should. You should say yeah.
So she started a class called Stomping Grapes. Oh,
like
if she did Stomping Grapes, maybe you could come and.
I'd be good at that.
Sure.
I'd be
I
really
love
good.
And then they could use that for in
And
the
then,
happy hour.
oh my
Oh, you
God.
could stop
Tony,
the
you see,
grapes for the wine.
that's why you're the
Well,
director.
I'm like,
You see why you're the director?
well,
Oh, yeah.
You gotta still come-
I'm telling you, now I'm thinking, now
Yeah.
the wheels are spinning, because I direct as well, you know that, so.
ballet at the bar, tappy hour.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna be
I think
Ellie
there's
in
a
2
theme
weeks, by the
here,
way.
is what we're
Yeah.
saying.
There's a total theme
Yeah.
here. The
Yeah.
theme is just jump off the cliff.
Exactly.
That's it. Do it. All right. So we want to thank our friends. Please come back. I'm here every week. What's the Story with Maria is live 9 to 10 p.m. on Tuesday nights. armdigitalmedia.com. It runs live. It also goes into podcast at iHeartRadio and Spreaker. SPREAKER.com. That's a podcast house. iHeartRadio. You just type in "What's the Story with Maria," and there's 35 archive shows now. This is episode 35. Jimmy, how much time do we have?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. We want to thank Jim Bell. We want to
Thank
thank
you, Jimmy.
Joe Savino. And thank you, Janine Molinari, Anthony
Thank
Patelis.
you, Maria.
Oh, my God. It was my pleasure. Now we're going to go and eat our salmon. We're going to eat for an hour. Happy tappy, everybody.
Fine with